me to start my talk with a question. Is this really the world you want to live in right now? Take a moment to think about it. Thinking about when you're sitting in a car, vehicle, or in fact any transportation, and you look at the world to see a different perspective. You see things you don't want to see. For example, greenhouse gas, or even the slightest problem like littering on the street. When I sit in the car and look out the window, I see a contrast from our world now and before. That told me we need to take action. Over the past couple years, products that promote sustainability have been made, such as wind turbines, solar panels, sustainability bicycles, and so on. No doubt, wind turbines have encouraged the use of wind energy instead of depending on environmentally unfriendly methods of burning fossil fuels, while bike sharing has encouraged people to cycle without having to buy more bicycles for themselves. However, not everything goes the way you want them to be. For example, bicycle sharing has created a huge amount of e-waste, like back in 2017, with shocking pictures in The Guardian, where a huge mountain of these bicycles were being dumped in so-called bicycle graveyards in China, the country where bike-sharing technology first took off and from where the big UK companies, including Mobike and Ofo, originates. Therefore, I'm here to argue that instead of depending on sustainability products, I'm for waste reduction and conservation efforts. First, before we go about criticizing the suitability of sustainability products, we do have to acknowledge that sustainability products have changed our lifestyles by encouraging us to incorporate being green and environmentally friendly in our everyday lives. Solar panels can be used for a wide variety of applications, including remote power systems for cabin, telecommunications equipment, remote sensing, and of course, for production of residential and commercial solar electric systems. Humans have only heard of the bright side of these inventions. The company only tells the good things just to keep that green names. Solar panels are an increasingly important source of renewable energy that will play an essential role in fighting climate change. They're also complex pieces of technology that become big, bulky sheets of electronic waste at the end of their lives and right now. Most of the world doesn't have a plan of dealing with that. International Renewable Energy Agency projects that up to 78 million metric tons of new solar units have reached the end of their lives, and the world will be generating about 6 million metric tons of new solar e-waste annually. As a result, we know that wind turbines, solar panels does not make a big difference. How can we actually save the planet? The best way is to take action yourself by turning off the lights when you're not using it as a save energy, or use less plastic. My school YCIS have already tried to make the world a better place by replacing metal bottles instead of plastic bottles. In my personal life, I've tried to motivate my family to use less plastic, telling my peers not to litter whenever they want. I agree that it might be a bit challenging. Honestly, I still use plastic bottles, but I consistently remind myself not to. Taking action doesn't have to be big and spontaneous. What I'm saying is, at least try. Even a small action can change the world in one way. I know not everyone cares, but you need to know it's your responsibility. It is your home. So everyone, let's take action today. Maybe pick up a piece of garbage on your way home, or use things like plastic bottles. Learn to live independently, yet purposefully. Much of the problem that plagues us originates ourselves from an inability to understand ourselves. The moment we work on overcoming is the same moment we know we're moving on to greater things. The better world I was talking about at the start of my talk depends on everyone. It's our responsibility to change our damaged earth. So, for the sake of generations tomorrow, let's choose the world we want. Thank you.